Well, it's that time of year again. We're back here on BMU and the Golden Bear Sports Network. I'm Thad Goff, joined by head coach Grant Redhead. Coach, good to see you.
Hey, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, I can't complain other than a little bit of rain.
Well, yeah, we've had quite a bit of that the last few days, but we're going to be starting up the 2018 high school season, and the outlook looks like it's pretty good for this year. You got, I believe, 9 seniors and 15 letter winners back from last year's team. What do you think the outlook is for the season?
Well, you know, it's always hard to judge. We've got the kids back. You know, if we can get them from the chin up, get them focused in, zeroed in, we'll be all right. We're hoping to improve on what we did last year and, you know, push for the league.
Speaking of last year, you had a 6-4 finish a year ago, and it seems like it's been an upward trend the last few years. What do you think the chances are that that'll be able to continue?
I think it's better than average. You know, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I think that we're in a position we can do some good things. We've got a lot of guys back with experience, been running the same offense and defense for a few years, so kids are settling in just fine. You know, schedule's tough, but hey, it always is, so we'll just see how we play.
A lot of guys back with experience, especially on the defensive side of the ball. 9 returning starters on that side of the ball. And obviously, experience, it's always a good thing. But have you liked what you've seen from them in practice?
Yeah, defense is definitely more advanced than the offense right now. And it usually happens that way. But our defense does have all those guys back. Played really well at Hicksville, played really well at Paulding. So, you know, hopefully they can keep us in it till we get the kinks worked out of the offense and get those guys caught up. Usually, by game 3, the offense gets clicking.
Speaking of offense, you do have a brand new quarterback this year, Zach Nobis. He graduated, so probably a few different quarterbacks that could be the starters, but Nate Miller may be the oldest one of the bunch. So what do you see when you look at your quarterback situation?
Well, that's the thing. Nate's very, very able to do it. He just needs snaps under his belt. You know, biggest thing is he hasn't done it in a game yet, so, you know, that's our number one concern.
And he's got some a good number of upperclassmen, it seems like, in the receiving core to throw to, so that may help a little bit. But as far as the receivers go, have you liked what you've seen there?
Yeah, Hicksville we did all right. Paulding, we weren't quite getting it done. I will say that. We slacked off, whatever you want to say. You know, it just wasn't very good. But, you know, we've been on them. They've been working hard this week, so we'll see an improvement hopefully.
And last year you had, I believe it was 3 games of the games that you won that were decided by just one possession. So you proved that you were able to go out and win some of those close games and hold on till the end. That's got to be a positive going into this season, maybe something to build on to.
Well, the biggest thing is, you know, the kids believe they can do it. Last year, I think a few of them were surprised us one. I knew we were capable of it, but sometimes kids get it in their head, well, how are we going to beat these guys? They beat us this bad last year. And that's not it. You just got to go into every game ready to win and, you know, have that mindset to win. And, you know, no matter what they throw at you, just keep playing.
Well, Coach, obviously opening night's always a fun night, especially for football season, but even more so since you got Van Wert. Obviously, that's a game on the road, and that's a team that I think you play just about every year in the opener, and it's one of the oldest rivalries in the state of Ohio. How much are you looking forward to that?
Well, you know, we are. It's really neat, the history behind the game and how long they've been playing. And, you know, it's been decided since I've been here, the visiting team wins. They beat us twice at home. We beat them down there to get my first win when I came in as coach here. So it's going to be a good game. They're solid. They've got about the same number returning. They lost some of the big playmakers, though. We lost Nobis. They lost 3 guys like Nobis. So, you know, it's going to be a game. You know, we show up and play. You know, I think we can win, but we're going to have to play every snap.
And they took a big stride last year. Obviously, your team's taken some strides forward in the last few years. They took a big stride last year from 0-10 in 2016 to 5-5 last year. Mm-hmm. And so it would seem as though maybe the two teams match up pretty evenly. Or would you say they match up pretty evenly?
Yeah, we do. You know, we're very, very similar, run similar offenses and defenses. You know, it just depends, you know, who's hungrier for the win. You know, we both ended off last season with a good win. We'll see who wants it most.
And you talk about similar offenses and defenses. One thing that they do have is they got a pretty good dual threat quarterback. Now, I mean, you've talked before about Nate Miller and his ability to run with the football and to throw the football, but also Nate Place, the quarterback at Van Wert. He's pretty good at both of those things as well. But you see a little bit of that in practice though, since you run a very similar offense. So maybe that kind of helps you prepare a little bit for that style of play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. All season I think we can simulate game speed a little better than some people. We just got to get our kids to come out of the gate fast. And as long as I've been coaching 23 years, some teams start fast and some teams wait for a big spark. Hopefully we can get started against them without the spark.
And speaking of big sparks, sometimes every now and then you give up a big play that you wish didn't happen. That happened last year. Started the second half against Van Wert. Opening kickoff gets returned for a touchdown. On the one hand, you don't want to give those up, but on the other hand, you give something like that up. My guess is you probably want your guys to rally together and say, "Hey, we still got a lot of football left to be played." What do you want your guys' mindset to be when they give up a big play like that?
Well, we have to bounce back. We have to play the next play. That's our biggest thing. Play the next play, move on. Okay, don't make that mistake again, and I think we can do that. We've got to win the special teams battle. And this year, I think with our returners and everybody we have, I think it's in our advantage.
And of course, we mentioned already it is on the road, so you don't have the home field advantage, so to speak. Although I'm sure there's going to be a pretty good turnout of Bryan fans there. But maybe it's a good chance to go on the road and steal a victory, especially early in the season. That'd probably be a big boost.
Yeah, well, we've been on the road 2 weeks. Our scrimmage had to get moved to Paulding because it rained, hard early in the morning, and they deemed it too wet to play, and we didn't have it painted or cut anyways. So we moved to Paulding. We had to deal with adversity, and I told the kids, just focus on the opponent, not the adversity. Traveling on the road shouldn't bother these guys by now.
Well, it's certainly going to be a lot of fun. A game against Van Wert on Friday night, and I think somebody on the Van Wert side posted something on their Twitter account like, "We're going on a bear hunt." Well, maybe you can spoil that bear hunt and make it a cougar hunt. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we got the weight advantage. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way to put it. Thanks for joining us here on BMU and the Golden Bear Sports Network. And Coach, thanks for joining us as well.
Thank you.